Hey there, I am JP and I'm very excited for today's episode because I got a bunch more mod tools and also some ploppable props. These are going to make our area even more better and more realistic. Now before I show you what I've been doing between this episode and the last episode, of course, let me just first show you what extra mods I got, and also you can find the names back into the description if you would like to have them for yourself. Now the first mod I have is the Move It mod, and this Move It mod is going to be super duper handy because sometimes when you place a certain road, especially this is something that you have with highways to say. The first mod is Move It mod. Now this is very handy with highways, I do believe, because normally you cannot have like too much of a a smooth angle from the highway, and so in this case you could say let's make it like this, and then this is always like a very sharp corner. So if you would click on this guy, you can actually move it and try to make it a little bit more smoother and change the angle for a bit until it starts acting weird. Just try to find something nice in here to make it a little bit more smooth. Now I have been seeing that this is kind of a deal already in Cities Skylines too, so you don't have to mess around, because there are certain bits and pieces that don't line up perfectly, but this is way more smoother to get out rather than having these super sharp like this guy and these corners, which is not very nice, not very realistic though. The second mod is Prop and Tree Anarchy. I pronounce it the correct way. Anyways, basically when it's turned on and you have like a certain terrain or certain bits and pieces, you should be able, as you can see now, to plant trees and whatnot in gardens. You cannot do this on the road, I can't remember that, but you can do it like on parking lots. And there are a couple of other bits and pieces, like if you have some kind of a asphalt type of deal that you place down, you can make like your own little tree patch onto it. It's also very nice. And another very nice one, which I like a lot, is a surface painter, because this guy is going to help out making a little bit more realistic type of farms, because this is the color of the farmland. Now of course we need to place fences a little bit better. I also got something for that, but in this case we can make our own farmland, which is going to be super duper nice. And you can see right down here for an example, and now enlarging it. That's just super duper nice. Which in this case I also do believe it gave me ground resources. So if we want to make a farm elsewhere, or we want to really make things into a farm area, it would really help if we make the ground fertile like that. Give it a bit of extra power to the farm factories. Then I also got Decal Prop Fix. This basically means if I would download decals that are bigger than a certain size, then it will fix it, because apparently it doesn't look good when you don't have this fix, and or when you repeat certain tiles, it might not look very nice. I will come back to this another point though. And then we have also Ploppable Asphalt. Now I'm not really sure just yet how and what, but if I'm not wrong, I probably am wrong, is that I should be able to change certain stuff. But like I said, I'm not sure just yet. I have been reading the description though, and there should be some bits and pieces that I can actually use. And just basically this mod also take care that the color of the bits and pieces are matching up with the original, or if you have used like other road colors, then you can match them both up, because if it doesn't look good, it looks not good. Then I also got a mod, it's called Prop Position. Basically when you have like ploppable fences that you can just place down one by one near to each other, if you don't have this position mod, it can look ugly because they don't match up in a straight line. It looks like jitteries, and with this mod I should be able to fix it. I will also come back to that mod. And then the next one, or better to say the last one of the tools, is the Find It. This is going to be super duper handy, and I believe, let me just take a little look at it, that this is exactly what I mean with these fences are not like you know, matching up if you need to do it bit by bit. And then, if I'm not wrong, should be able to select all of these and then line it up like that. I'm not sure this is the one because, you know, there are certain mods that are being through each other, but, you know, you could see that it's now like perfectly lined up, which is just very nice. And this find it mod is super handy because you can place it onto custom or vanilla. I have both turned on. You know, this way you can see that I got a lot of props downloaded. I got like McDonald's stuff. I also got a church that you're gonna place in our new area, and or so here I got like Ploppable Asphalt, and maybe this is the whole thing. But I was trying to say before that it doesn't, you know, matches up too much, and I'm not sure if it would work right now. Yeah, so this is the whole deal. Then you can now trying to, you know, match things up. Yeah, so if you hold shift and now like match it up for a bit, it kind of looks like it. Now of course this doesn't look good because it is onto a hill and I cannot really catch it right now. Maybe if I pick the picker tool. No, I think I put decals on. Not a decal. Will you stop selecting the highway, please? Ah, there we go. It's probably not them, but now I can just select it and move it. And maybe slope object. Yeah, rotate random does work, so this does indicate that I need to use it like that. Reset object doesn't work for this one apparently. Line up object. I think you can select one and then another, and then this one will focus onto another. So if it's like uphill, it should somehow fix that. I will get deeper into things, and of course if you guys have any tips and tricks on how to use this stuff, then you can let me know down below in the comment section. Now the first thing that I would like to do, bulldoze, there we go, is place down the church right down here. And then I'm going to show you the new area, by the way, which I actually promised to do at first. Now here I have a Shell gas station. The Shell gas station in the McDonald's is going to give us a nice option of why is stuff always like unaimed out? Like, why? Make it 4, make it 2. You know what, let's just place it down. Look at all these people being happy in our village, and look at this church. Now the good thing is about this guy, I should be able, if I turn buildings on for an example, and I can just move it around. That's so perfect. Now some of these mods I've been using in the past, some of these others I've never used before, but look at this. Isn't that just like perfect? That is beautiful though. This church, you know, kind of fits in very nice, and we can just make like a nice pathway around for whatever reason that's going to be. And then also we can place some bushes around and whatnot. Yeah, so one warning though with the prop Anarchy is that if you place a pathway down it or a house, it won't delete it automatically, I believe. So need to be careful with that. Alright, beautiful. Like a little pathway going around, and then I just want to place a couple of trees and then it is going to be fine. Now I believe, let me just take a look, there should be a picker tool. I would swear I have seen that somewhere. Yeah, this guy, oh, it just, okay. Alright, fantastic, that will be that. So let me just quickly show you what I've been doing, because the last time I've been telling you I want to get rid of this here because, you know, I felt like it doesn't look too good. I got rid of the industry down here and that little shopping circle, and I've been placing that right down here, which now looks very nice. I do have a little bit of a garbage problem, it seems like, but sooner or later I should be able to unlock, of course, the other garbage facility, which is just going to be super duper nice. And I've also got this on and off for this guy, so I need to keep that in mind to not go like too crazy on that. This should fix it for right now for the problems. This is just, you know, straight on almost. Yeah, a small little industry down here, and I got some more fences too, like I've been showing you guys, because placing these same fences all over the place is not very good. And maybe I'll just dig in a little bit deeper to get these fences, because these are way more handier to just place down. Yeah, but nonetheless very cool. So right now I'm going to aim for a busy town. Let me just see. Yes, a busy town. Because with the busy town, we unlock the bigger guys, but I think I need this one. Yeah, so we're going to have 5,500 people because I need this garbage facility plant. So this case, I want to change a small little thing down here. I want to keep these spots down here, but there is something that I would like to, I want to make it a little bit more realistic. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to place a road like that, just very simple. And I also do believe if I take like a farmhouse, which can be found like this, then like that, and I would say historical building. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's not gonna work like that probably, because I need to first make it like this, then like that, and then keep it historical building, so it won't change, I wanted to say, and so on. It looks way better. This looks way more realistic and just way nicer, which is, this is how it's going to be in Cities Skylines 2. You place one building, you can extend like some kind of a district zone type of idea, and then in there it will be filled up with farm stuff. And I believe it should be easy to also expand this, and this way, yeah, compare this to that, I mean, yeah, it's gonna be fantastic in Cities Skylines 2. Now the next thing that I would also like to do is just expand this road, have some more of these little like farm areas at the side. I am going to be careful not take too much away in once, but we also going to have like a nice farm area out here, which, long story short, I can just start making yeah, something. I think I just want to take like a nice little square out here. Later on, probably I can fill up some stuff. And I'm looking at it. I had like a weird type of bug, which gave me a lot of red vehicles all over the place around here while I was removing some stuff. I think it's actually funny though. I should be placing like a car factory, and then, yeah. Yeah, like even here on the parking lot, it would be so cool to have a parking lot with like the same kind of cars or the same kind of colors though. Meanwhile, I'm also just going to continue placing stuff down and, yeah, try to get this goal done, because I still need like plus minus 400 something people. And I've actually been downloading meanwhile the actual underground cables too. It's also into the description. This is super handy. Just place it down whatever you like. For example, I need some stuff here or power. Do I need to extend this whole thing down there? Well, I can just do this, and then I can start having power out here, which is super duper nice. Oh boy, note to myself, always be sure you select the right tool. So I had this tool down here, and can I can still remove it. Oh god, I'm so happy, because I used this fertile land in order to remove it. It didn't want it to go away. It was still on ore. Alright, so in this case I am also ready to start terraforming this area into a nice farm field type of deal. I want to make like another road here, have a couple of different farm things along the way. I'm slowly going to take care that this stuff will be gone and make a facility elsewhere. Maybe I'm going to make a road a little bit longer and connect it up here so that stuff can be taken care of. These guys can be emptied out one by one. And yeah, so let me just show you what I have been doing right down here. Look at this. This looks way better than how it looked before. This is way more realistic. And yes, sure, there are trees between it. Some countries have trees. Some have like, just fences, or they have like a brick. I've seen that in England. They have like these nice brick walls and have like these curvy roads. Some other countries in the Netherlands, you see a lot having like little waterways between in. This also depends on what is growing there. For example, this trees wouldn't be super duper handy right down here, since you know it casts shadow onto the crop. It would be ideal to have like a waterway around it, or something like a fence or whatever, in order to, you know, have different areas. The tree lines would be very handy if you have like cows and sheep and whatnot, so when the days are hot they can just take a little cool down into the shadow of the tree. But I'm just gonna leave it like this. Maybe it would be nice in the future of Cities Skylines if there is like some kind of a mod that will allow little waterways, and maybe just fake waterways, because I can understand that the water in this case is like polygon type of deal, which makes one part of water it's too spread out, it's way too large, which I understand it's very difficult to fill like a tiny little gap. It's going to look weird, it's not going to be super duper nice. And what, you know, I hope something like, you know, like something small like this, and then in the middle it's like little water, and of course the concrete needs to be changed into grass or whatever. Just fake water, just make it look like it's like that. Alright, so I'm super duper happy with this. I also forgotten that I need to extend the farm area, because these were like industrial type of deals. Yeah, it's a lot easier. Sooner or later we're going to add also bus stops and stuff, so that's why I added this in here. Maybe later on I can just expand some farm areas. Now we also have it. No, it's more easier down here. It's lesser dense, lesser busier. The road is more freed up. So just gonna see how that's gonna work out. Yeah, let me just do something fun with this area and take care of some problems. It is the next day for me, and I do want to say before I turn around that I will build a lot more onto camera in like smaller sections, but it took me a ton of time to create what I have right now. Also because I have to learn myself some tricks and tips in order to make it. Now the titles of these mods are in the description, so you just copy the title of something you like, then you put it into the Steam, and then you will also see the one who created it. Of course, all of these mods, big credits to the people who created these mods. Now let me just show you around, and I have also got little storylines, and I came up with some more stuff for the future. More storylines are going to be absolutely fun. Now what you see down here is that this road is still the original road that we have. So, you know, I keep my promise of keeping certain things. Also, this area is still down here. And yeah, let me just show you around. Let me just start off with this road. Now, this road is also the original road from way back in the days. And this road, of course, went all the way here into its own bridge right down there. Maybe at some point, you know, we make some more stuff that makes more sense to the whole storyline. Instead of just changing this road into a highway, they decided to make a new highway. And this is something you sometimes see in real life. I believe with Route 66 in America, they have still got the original old road near the side of the highway. Alright, so I also got the mod RICO, which take care that I can choose whatever building I want and just place it down, and I don't have to zone it. As you can see, nothing is zoned, and or it does works, which is just very nice. Now these farm areas are even more realistic than what I've been building before, because now it has its own terrain. It has like its own storage, I wanted to say, a little building and some parking space. Now this down here is like some kind of a fruit farm. I thought it would be very nice. Now of course I can just download some of its own trees, but the more you download, the heavier the game gets. So we can also just use a little bit of fantasy. So let me just go down the road and explain you all of these buildings. Now this is just a between-in building. Sometimes you see that, I just based this on the Netherlands, that you have farm areas and then there is a building between in. This could be either a family that have bought a piece of ground in cooperation with the family that lives here for helping out maybe in summer times, or these could be like families that want to go away from the city, away from the villages. They just bought a piece of ground, and yeah, that's how these small little things come between in. I have an uncle that actually has like a small house between in all the farmland, and later on they also bought a piece of ground where they have like their own horses. So that is also a nice excuse to just, you know, plop down something between in to make it more realistic. And of course sometimes you see like small industrial type of areas where there is storage, or like these apples are getting packed here or something like that. And of course you have like this. And sometimes there are farmers that buy like multiply areas or for the farmland, but they don't have like a house per se with it. They just go from one location to the other. They just come in here, do the stuff. This is also something that you will see when you play like Farm Simulator. And then down here there is another like apple farm to say, or pear or whatever. And there is another like between in facility. And then down here is like the entrance to the apple facility. Then this is like the owner of it, and of course some storage areas. You just, you know, have to fantasize and see what you can do with it. Now down here is a cow farm, which down here you can see all these cows are coming from the shadow area because it is a feeding time right down here. Down here there are some cows that are or maybe new, or these cows are going to go away to a different area. Now this building here needs to upgrade. I'm just leaving it as it is. I could have just used like ploppable building and choose something that I like. And down here is the owner of this piece of land right down here. This is actually the first building that I did place it down also before I started using the RICO mod, and I'm looking at it. I need to move this billboard a little bit further away. I actually decided to upgrade the road later on, so that's why some of these things might look out of place. I had to move a lot of trees. So keep that in mind if you're planning to upgrade roads, that you place the trees far enough from the original road. And this is actually the first between-in house that I actually made. It's very tiny, very cozy. And then down here we have like a massive area where products are getting, I don't know, packed or even stored sometimes. I've seen this in France while we had like our road trip to an area. You see like these big areas where all kinds of stuff is getting stored and then transported elsewhere. This is also, I believe, something in Farm Simulator. And then of course we have Farmville, which I, you know, gave a little bit of a boost. I just changed this whole area here, planted some more stuff and furniture and whatnot, and I removed the outside fence and displaced some trees to make it look a little bit more logic. And you can also see that it's very handy to first work with the painter and then place stuff down, because as you can see, this road is a little bit inclined because there is a little bit of space here between the road and the farmland, and there is a lot of space here. So that's why it's very important to work with, you know, the painter rather than first the building then the painter. And of course I have been fixing a piece of highway, and I have gave it its own sound barrier right down here. Just use this fence. It's gonna go all the way around. Some nice curvy shapes down here, and then it stops here because I needed to stop yesterday, and I filled this in with some ground. I think it kind of looks nice though, like this. And then the highway is gonna go here. There's like an off ramp, on and off, right down here. Places some random stuff, and this looks way more realistic. I really love what I've been doing here. Yeah, which also made me think I'm going to make this highway like here, and then connect it up somehow here, and then we're going to fuse these two together to go to this island. And I'm also going to need to make an on and off ramp right down here, and an on and off ramp somewhere around here. I'm not just sure 100% just yet what I want to do. Maybe I'm going to tie it up against the forest. I want to make like a rifle village down here from our village right down here. Now, of course, besides all of the fun stuff, I'm also going to need to, you know, take care that the population is going up. I actually did not do too much because I didn't want the goal to all of a sudden pop up into my face. And this is something that I always like to do, just bit by bit. Then you can do the between in. It also takes care that if you fill up a whole row, sometimes the game takes like 2x4 for a house, or sometimes 3x4 for a house. So that's why I'm doing it like this. And what is also the nicest thing about the RICO Plop mod is that you can make neighborhoods with the same kind of houses, because it's not only realistic to have like this stuff. You see that also in the Netherlands, having like different houses along the way, but when it's often like a giant neighborhood, you often see like the same kind of houses. So I think this should boost up very much, and then we're gonna get into some of the bigger stuff which I'm really going to need. I'm not sure if I'm being able to reach this just yet. The thing here is, like I've been saying before, I'm going to need to have this incineration plant. There we go, because I'm going to need to clean up some stuff down here before I can build some more stuff down here. And I'm also going to need to slowly but surely empty out these buildings. So it's going to take a bit of time to, you know, renovate this area a little bit more. This village will stay. This is ours, so I'm not going to mess around with that. I have also been thinking, while we build a rival village here, is our village want to keep the original sand road or the dirt road, because it's just nice. It makes it look old. We don't want to modernize our stuff for too much. And or I've also been moving up our water intake to right down here, because I figured out if we're going to make this area dirty, this water become dirty, and then our people getting sick because the water is flowing that way. Now this area of course isn't very realistic, but I want to keep it as it is, and then from now on move on to more realism. I mean, it could be like a future project type of deal. But I want to really start making neighborhoods more that make more sense. There's a lot of farm area here. There could be like houses here that should motivate people to start working here, or start working here or there, stuff like that. And there we go. We got a very busy town. I just wanted to remove some trees. There we go. I was probably pressing the button. Now I'm thinking of it. Maybe I'll end up making this highway go underneath the ground and then make it pop up somewhere around here ish to connect these guys up, because if I make this through a village, it's going to look very ugly and kind of unrealistic, and I also want people to enjoy the water side later on. Now I've kind of been waiting for this for a very long time, you know, to fill in this area, make it look nice. And this is a big guy along with the big hospital. I think I'm going to plop this here and then have the hospital here, so I'm going to need to remove this road. I can make things, you know, still look a little bit different down here to make it lesser cramped up. This would be fine, and then it would be nice to rotate this road. I'm just gonna place it here. I don't care about people complaining, and I think I want to change this road for a little bit. To be honest, sometimes I do not really understand how these mods work, which for an example is, I want to see how I can get everything to object height, but it doesn't really seem to work. Like I can do that, but basically what I'm looking for is to lower this road. Now I can just press page up and page down. I don't want to go too nuts with this. It would be so ideal to get all of these in one height at the same time. Like that doesn't work. If I do terrain height, it's go up. And then you have slope heights. Yeah, it is still being up. It's at least a little bit more straight though. And then I hope that the new parking lot will, or this parking lot, perfectly fit in. That's what I was looking for. I hope that this pathway will look nice, which it kind of did, but also kind of did not. I do have a little trick, and that is just turn all of this stuff off so you can just place it close as possible like that, and it looks a bit better than before. Now for right down here, I wanted to have like another pathway between in, and then we got some spots left. We could just add a little bit of commercial building down here. Now since we have the hospital, I want to delete this medical clinic. I just have to do it like that. Add the police and fire station too. Then I can place some of these big guys. I find the fire station a little bit more important than the police station if it's about what goes first. Place this guy here. And let's place guy here, and then we can also just put some more parks at the side. I can find it. I'm all over the place. There we go. That's just perfect and perfect. And of course, there is some more spots left. You can also keep in mind to, you know, see if we can add some more in here if it's about voting. Now, here I want to create something. I'm not really sure if I say it the correct way, but isn't that in Washington DC that let me see here, that you have like that statue at the end? You have like water, and then you have like a giant pillar sticking into the sky. I just forgot what it was called. We can take a little look here to see what the game has to offer for that. Maybe we could do a statue of wealth. Now, it is only a shame that it's like facing in this direction rather than facing the other direction. Then this guy could be, oh, that would be perfect, right? Like, place this guy out here. Statue of wealth, his hospital, police station, library. Eventually, maybe I should wait. I wish I could see how large the university is. And place that guy right out here. And I'm thinking about, it's actually a shame that I got this guy right down here. But what I can do is terraform this here and then bring them over or something. People will be mad. Then I place the university at the end down here. I have still some spots left for whatever, right? But more of this good stuff you are going to see into the next episode. If you want to name some roads, want to see some districts with names, have some ideas that you would like to see in the Cities Skylines playthrough, then let me know down below in the comment section, and then I hope you enjoy your weekend. Alright, I'm going to play some more jobs, but elsewhere rather than in this area or that area. I need to share it a little bit up. Where would be a good spot? I think like a forest industry, this area would be very ideal.